Welcome back to the Scott Allen Creative Vlog. This is the episode 12. I am one of the hosts, Jason Brewer. This is Jeff Terpstra. Together we will host this episode together because I don't plan on leaving, and I don't think you have anywhere to go, right? We're locked in. Sure. Hope you're locked in as well. Last time we're just continuing the conversation on research, and we asked, what are we looking for in the research? And if you missed that episode, check it out on episode 11. But now it's, how do you find it? How do you find what you're looking for?
That's a great question. The first way I want you to look at this is to look within. There's two aspects of looking within. The first one is do a brand audit. Audit your current messaging. Audit your current brand. Is the design beautiful? Is it not? Is it clunky and complicated? Is your messaging powerful and engaging? Is it not? Try to keep what you can to your current messaging and let go and recognize what's not very good or bad. But at least you can cling on to parts of all that you've invested so far that you can hold on to. I don't want you to have to just start from zero.
Yeah, from scratch.
Yeah. Okay. The other part of looking within is my favorite part. And I learned about this years ago by attending a focus group. And in that focus group, I was like 21 years old, very shy, and they had asked some questions of the group, and usually the loudest and most extrovert people would give their opinion, and I'd be sitting there thinking, I don't really believe that, but maybe they're right. And I realized that if I ever do research someday, I want to do one-on-one interviews. And having said that, as you look within, you could do focus groups and you could do email surveys, and those are important where you get more of a quantitative input. But the best is the qualitative input. One-on-one interviews are my absolutely favorite way to discover your why, your belief, your hero, and then how you change the world together.
So one-on-one interviews, but somebody may be asking, all right, so do I just ask anybody in the organization, or who are those people that I should be setting up those interviews with?
Great question. It would be samples from each stakeholder group. So might be some board members, some staff, executive leadership, the clients you serve, donors, volunteers, foundations, any part of the nonprofit, people who are investing in the nonprofit or receiving blessing from the nonprofit. Every one of those stakeholder groups are like colors in a rainbow. They all have their own hue, and together they make this beautiful story.
So it just creates this broader picture of the organization. You're able to see what the customers are saying, what the leadership is saying, what the people that are putting the product together or the service together, or who have boots on the ground and they actually have skin in the game, and they're just as passionate, but they see how the gears are turning and how things are operating. You want to be able to have a slice of every aspect so that when you gather that interview data, you're looking at it, you have a broader picture, and then you take that research and you apply it to a number of different things. That's where you start to get maybe a new name for the organization, or it helps you in your capital campaign slogan, or an appeal that is necessary, or a key messaging or key services. And that's where you find a lot of the golden nuggets. Am I right?
That's right. And I can't tell you how many times I've sat in a one-on-one interview, and I've done hundreds of them, where literally I'll start crying or I'll start tearing up. I just had this experience a few weeks ago, and that was when I was interviewing a veteran. And he had lost both of his legs during the Vietnam War. And I just can't describe to you how powerful that moment was when I'm sitting right in front of this gentleman who had really given up so much of his life for our freedom and for our country, and just felt like I was in the presence of greatness, and that I owed him honor, And it could be like when I was interviewing for affordable housing organization, you have all the people building the apartments and the affordable homes and all this stuff. And my most moving interview was with one of the maintenance guys who said when he goes into a maintenance call, he'll just go in there and cheerfully ask, "How are you doing today?" And he'll just interact with the people. And just to see his love for the people that he was serving, not just his job, I started tearing up. And actually, it was that insight that helped us realize that when we market for affordable housing, it's not so much the building that we're building, it's the people within. Mm-hmm. And that insight was from him.
I've had the same experience when I've sat across from somebody that you're interviewing. And when their answers start to move you as the interviewer, and you start to tear up like you're describing, and you're like, there's something there.
Yeah.
If it's moving my heart, it's going to move somebody else's heart. And
that's it.
And that's essentially what you're going after. And it's not just a simple tactic to do. It's just there's something there. There's a connection there with that person's response and how they're responding. And you're being moved in your soul, in your heart, and you're going, there's something there. I don't know exactly yet. That's part of still digging and still doing the research and stuff. But when that happens, you start to move.
It's gold.
Yeah.
You hit gold.
Right.
You know it because, like you said, it moves your heart first. And one aspect of interviewing, I just want to bring up because this is really important. No matter who you interview, make sure that we're showing an attitude of dignity and respect, mm-hmm. that we're honoring their journey. It may be a person who's been through horrible circumstances, maybe with struggles that I've never faced, but I'm always going to honor that person and help them feel safe, mm-hmm. that they're not going to be criticized, they're not going to be judged. We're inviting them to be human in front of us and to make that human connection in that safe place. Is there anything else that you want to add?
No, just the fact that somebody's story is delicate. That we as interviewers or researchers have to handle it with delicacy. That we are wanting to draw out some genuine responses. And so if we have any air of judgment or criticism, it shuts down the interview. It shuts down the response. And so we are to stay neutral, or we are to just handle the questions with delicacy. And so that's all I have.
Well, I just wanted to say the other aspect of it is you also really get to appreciate, the people, like you said, that are kind of boots on the ground, those that are serving those families, or serving someone who's illiterate, or helping someone through an addiction. When you see all the love that they're pouring, literally the love that they're pouring out, and the giving of their own lives as a programs person to help meet the needs of a mother in crisis, or whatever those moments are, you really get to deeply appreciate the heart of the organization. Like, this is why we're doing what we're doing. This is how we're doing it. And from the donors and investors, you get to see their why, and whatever language they're using on why they're giving to the organization, that's the language I want to use as I reach out to other potential donors. That comes from their heart.
Yep.
Okay,
absolutely.
That's it.
Well, we know your time is precious, and we want to hold it with delicacy as well. So we're going to end this episode right now by saying thank you for joining us.